Well, hello, and welcome back. I'm Claire. This is Purple Poppy. And this Friday, we got something a little bit different. Yes, I'm afraid I've done it. We're into October, and I feel Christmas is fair game once you get into October. So I've got some new toys to play with, old and new, as it were. So I've got this fantastic Tim Holtz Christmas fabric. So we're going to be playing with that. I've got the collage papers, the Christmas ones, and I've got the large collage strips. Treated myself to some Christmas bits. I've also got these fabulous three-dimensional pieces. More about them in a future video, but they're basically moulded. I got some moulds and made those up. Just a standard twine. Now I've got this fabulous old, it's like a letter pouch. We used to keep pads of paper and stamps and things in them, and this is going to be the base for this Christmas journal that I'm going to make. And I've also got this fabulous old music book. This is volume 1. There are actually 3 volumes. As you can see, it's in a very sad state, but it doesn't bother us, does it, because of what we want to use it for. I did try to find an actual date, which I can't find. It was obviously part of a library in 1979, but I've got a feeling this is actually 1800s, this book. Just feeling the paper. I'm sure it's 1800s, but anyway, I'm going to have a flip through there and see if we can find any, Christmas type music to go in our book, plus some of those lovely old papers. But first things first, let's work with this. And today I'm going to be working on the journal cover. So the first thing I want to do is take off this, because it's obviously never going to be deep enough for what we want. But likewise, I do want to keep it. So these are my best fabric scissors. But leather is a form of fabric. Now I obviously don't want to cut the stitching. So I'm trying to get right up to that hole, which I've missed. There you go. And this is actual leather, so there are some people that, will be bothered by that. The only thing I can say is, it's old leather. This is not a new thing. This is, old. So I'm going to pop them away. Let's get my blade out, because I want to try to get this out without damaging that lace work. And of course I'm not going to get it out, am I, because it's right under there. So the best that I can do is just trim it a bit closer with my small scissors. There we go. So that's got that off. Okay, and I figured I will end up just probably leaving it there as part of, the heritage somehow, and we'll just glue that on. But for now, let's look at this surface area. Now, what I thought was I would take a piece of this craft card. This is just standard craft card, and I want to position it on here, trying to get a nice straight line. So anyway, I've been so rude. How are you all? What have you been up to? I'm very sorry to those of you that signed in today expecting to see Just Because Quilt, as it is Friday, but I'm starting my Christmas route. If you've been with my channel for a little while, you'll know I am a big kid when it comes to Christmas. Absolutely love it. So I try and stretch it as far as I can. And I figure, you know, we're in October, it's fair game. Okay, so I figure that's a good width, and I want to take some height off. I think I'm going to come to about there. Have any of you thought about your Christmas crafting yet, or is it just way too early for you guys? Okay, I think that's going to give me the size that I want, because I want it to slot under there. It's not quite central, it's a little bit more to this side, but I think I can accept that because of that bit. So the reason I've got this is because I want to cover it with some of this goodness, some of this lovely, lovely goodness. Right, now the piece that I particularly want is the piece that's got the postcard on it. So there's quite a lot of waste there, isn't there? I think if we go over, and then we can use that excess bit for a bit of slow stitching or something. So I'm going to come down there. Will it tear? Yes. Come down there. But I need to go a little tiny bit further. I can see some of this actually making it into my Just Because quilt. Just because, really. Why not? Right. And I think we can come, do you know what, let's do it where we're at. There you go, job done. Okay, so I want this to be my central sort of focal point on the front here. So it's just about getting it in the right position. So let's just have a little look and see if that is indeed the right position. I think it can come down a bit more, can't it? Not too much, because of what else I want to do. Right, so you see we've got all this here. I'm not having that. So we'll save that strip. That's a lovely strip in its own right for something else. Okay. Strings are off. Now, plenty of glue, and I think probably the answer is gel matte medium. So whoops, trusty old glue brush. Excuse me. And then I think actually the best answer is to do it this way. And I believe it goes there like that. So then we're gonna do those edges as well. Okay. Just going to take off the corner on each one. I mean, you've all done this many times, haven't you? I know you have. Okay. And that's going to go up and that's going to come down. Lovely. So, a bit more glue. There we go. Just making sure that's all beautifully stuck down. Okay. Waste not, want not. There it is. Yep, that's going to work beautifully for me. So, I want to now bring this in. I'm going to pop this there because that is where it's going to sit, and then I want to build in my numbers. So I want to build in my 25th, or 25. I've got this 3D poinsettia as well. It needs to go up a little bit higher because that one needs to sit there, and then that 5 can just rest on that little tip, and then I'm not sure whether I'm going to put this rose on as well or not. I think I might leave that rose off, but we are definitely going to go for that like that. Okay, now if I look at my strips, sorry, I'm desperate. Why am I so rubbish at opening these things? Sorry about the cellophane. And as I'm looking at it now, I'm feeling that maybe I want another layer all the way round. So before I break out my strips, I think I'm going to look for another piece of that craft card that I cut that from. Where did we put it? Put it up there. And I'm thinking I'm going to go underneath it. Just a little bit, like you do, you know, when you're card making, just to put an extra little layer on, I think is what I want to do. You know what I'm like? I'm very probably going to change my mind once I've cut it, but we'll have a look and we'll see. So, see, whilst I had an idea, I had no strict plan of what I was going to do. Oh, I've got no lid. It's a bit weird. No strict plan of what I was going to do, so this is where often, you know, creativity takes over, and right, let's have a look. We end up with something that we didn't necessarily expect. So let's take this piece off, like so. Okay. So you keep coming back and sizing up. So we definitely can't go any bigger than that because we're on that spine. This would now sit there, just to give it that extra frame. Also it gives us, and it's interesting because it's a poinsettia, isn't it, that's on the find the right one. I remember when I was playing with this before, if you don't find the right one, it just doesn't work. And I had it, didn't I? And now I've lost it. Is it that one? Yes, that one. There we go. So this could actually come down a little bit further, and it can sit like that. But then I want one of these, at least one of these, to go underneath. I feel like the people might work. Let's go through them and see what we've got. I quite like that plaid. Put that to one side. Oh, they look like they're dressed for Christmas, don't they? Right, let's have a look at these two. I'm thinking, may your hearts be joyous, that could stay in there, and definitely sugar could stay in there, because we eat quite a lot of sugar at Christmas, don't we? So I'm thinking we keep these three. Don't want those people, we want these people. That can go under there. and then maybe they could go under the bottom again. So let's have a look at this. Oh, I think if I pop it under there, it's going to be in their faces. But if we pop that one between those two layers, we get a nice little bit of added interest in there. And then these two can pop under the poinsettia there, like that. Yeah, I'm liking that. Okay, so I'm going to lift all of this off, try and keep it together in the one position, because before we start attaching all of our cover, we need to appreciate the fact, whoops, that obviously this is no spine. So we're going in. We're going to go on the natural fold there. We're going to take our knife and we're going to keep drawing until we've cut it. Look at that. Now, I am going to trim off this tiny bit of curve. So it's got so much memory in it that we don't really want. There we go. Little tiny bit. It's not much to waste, is it? So here's my back, which now doesn't actually look straight. It's not straight, is it? Oh, for goodness sake, Claire. Right, so put that in there like that. I'm going to have to stand up to make sure, and then that is on there. So we're just going to take that extra bit off. Now it's straight. Okay, let's check the other one. The other one's okay. All right, so what I've done is I've taken a piece of the same craft card and I've cut it to 3 inches, and then I've scored on 1/2 inch in each side, so that when we fold it, that's going to give us a 2-inch spine. Okay, so that is obviously going to go on there. Need to take a little bit off of the height because of that sewing. So I think we're going to go to about there. Let's just check that. Still need, oh, do we need a tag or not? No, that looks perfect. So what we're going to do, give it a little bend back, and we're going to use our trusty Yoo-Hoo glue. I'm going to apply it to my 1/2 inch. Like so. Use my spreader this is going in there, right on that edge, like so. Okay, give it a minute to set up. That's not happy, is it, for some reason? Now normally this glue will not be phased by anything, so I'm just going to run another bit now and hope that the glue will stick to the glue. I am obviously going to be covering this spine, so you're not going to see any of this anyway. That's better. Doesn't usually fail me. And then it's just moved slightly, hasn't it? Right. While that's getting okay. Now I want to see, I really should leave it to dry, but for the sake of the video I'm going to put glue down this side and we're going to put glue down this side, like, whoops, so. And there is a quick and easy lesson, really, in how to extend a spine. There's lots of videos on YouTube of how to do it, but that's that one. I've just literally cut down the middle, as you saw, and then I've added my cardboard spine, which at a later date is going to get all sorts of embellishments on it. I'm going to take this piece off and we're going to get this stuck down. So again, I'm using my Yoo-hoo because I know it's going to work for me. And where's my little spreader gone? Underneath. That one. Sits there. Like that. That's that one done. This one, before I do it, I'm gonna just round off the corners. I'm gonna give it a little bit of ink. I'm using Archival Coffee. running a little bit of colour around the edge. Looks like a trip to Poundland is required. That's gone obviously over the 2. I need to keep my 25 in the right place, otherwise we're going to have a problem. This one is now going to go down. Still a little bit damp. Could have done with being a little bit drier. But again, for the sake of the video, make sure it's up the right way, Claire. Make sure it's fairly central to my back card layer. We're obviously getting different layers, different textures. Okay, this one I'd like to brush with some ink and just dirty it up a little bit. This is just basic red paint that I've used on it. So just dirty it up with a bit of ink, and oh, see, I've moved it again now, haven't I? It's that one, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's that one. This one again, I'm going to round off my corners and then give some ink to this as well. Actually, we could even, look at that, could even deliberately screw it up, get some age to it, maybe even get a bit of a tear going on. There we go. Now this one is going under there, isn't it? Like that. So we can glue this one down. But before we do, let's just give this a right sort of roll over like that. A bit more. There we go. Okay, so get some glue round here. Whoa! Don't do that, Claire. Now, we know it's got to go that way because that's where our two's got to go. There we go. Now, before I put my poinsettia on, I think I want to do some embossing on it. So, I'm going to put you on pause for a minute and I'm going to get the embossing powders up. A bit of glue on there. and we'll emboss that. Okay, I'm back. So here is my poinsettia. And what I'm going to look at the state of this, I could do with a new one of them. I've just dabbed around, I've got no idea where it is. I've got some of this Paper Mania holographic, so I'm just going to put a little bit of that on there. Oh, it's beginning to feel like Christmas. Claire, don't sing. And then I'm going to put a little bit of clear. It does mean that technically you can't put them back in the pot, but I can put it in the hologram one, not in the crystal clear one, so that's fine. Look at that. That's beautiful. So I'm going to leave that there. I'll open this up, you know the routine. Okay, let's heat this up. Sorry about the noise. Okay, it's very warm, but look at that. Makes it Christmas, doesn't it? Don't you think? I think it does. Right, now before we stick this on, I have also got some Christmas bells, some little Christmas bells. They do just about jingle, and I've got obviously some of this twine. Now, I remember it wasn't the easiest thing to get this through here when I did it before. You almost have to, actually, I wonder if I can get that through a needle. I've got one or two on my desk. Will a needle go through there? I'm sure it should. Yes. So, let's get this in the needle. Oh, white bit as well, Claire, please. There you go, that should do. And we can go through, can we? Yes, there we go. And we do the other one as well. Like that. Pull our needle off. Now, scissors. So, if on this one we do a giant knot, is that going to be enough? Yes. And then trim that, and then we only want a little dangle, don't we? Maybe like that. So do a big knot. here. Did I do 2 or 3? Can you remember? Was it 2? Yeah, it was 2. And we can trim that one off. Trim that one a little bit shorter. And then getting them off centre like that. They can go on the back of here. So where did my yoo-hoo go? So we need to make sure, I believe the 2 is sitting on that bit there. This is very, very hot, which is interesting. Okay, let's move all this. Let's bring back, actually I'm going to put down a mat because I feel like there's quite a lot of glitter down there and I don't want glitter on my book, do I? Well, only where I want it. So this now, with its little dingles, is, I believe, going to sit there like that, because this is where our 2 goes, and then that's where our 5 goes. So it just needs to move over a little bit, doesn't it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my 2 on first, because that'll position my poinsettia. That's my plan. So there's my 2. There's my 2 going down. Oh, I thought I heard it crack. No, 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 no. That's obviously because this is not lying flat. Right, because I did actually paint that, I can touch the paint up with that. That'll be fine. Oh, that's annoying. Didn't want it to crack, but it has done. Right, now a flat line is going there. I've cracked that one as well now, I think. Oh, look. How frustrating is that? I'm frightened to put the 5 on now. Yeah, that 2's got to come off, because that is really gonna freak me out. Now, fortunately, I made a bag of those, so I can find another one. I think the only problem that I've got is, oh no, I have got another gold one. There we go. So let's do this again. without cracking it, Claire. Right, don't press so hard, just put it down and let it set itself. There you go. Don't fiddle with it, let the glue do the glue's job. Right, I am now going to leave this well and truly alone so that it can dry. I don't want to crack it, I don't want to damage it, I just want to leave it all alone. But look at that. There's always embossing powder. When that's dry, I'll get a paintbrush and just knock off any embossing powder that may be on there that shouldn't. You just concentrate on gluing. So there you are. As always, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found joy and inspiration. I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Ta-ta for now.